Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Welcome to the third Halal preview session of Knowledge Hub segment of the 17th Malaysia International Halal Showcase Mihas, happening every Wednesday until 1st September 2021. We hope you have enjoyed our last two sessions on Halal and SMEs and Halal and Exports. If you missed the sessions, simply visit www.mihas.com.my to view the recording. For today's sessions, we will listen on how technology can help create an impact to accelerate the growth on Halal segment. Ladies and gentlemen, the global Halal F&B market size alone reached a value of USD 1.9 trillion in 2020. If you think that is huge, imagine the opportunities presented in other halal segments like cosmetics and personal care, Islamic financing and takaful, halal consultancy services, just to name a few. With the big demand, adopting technology is crucial to ensure and sustain public confidence in consuming halal products and services. Joining us today is Mr. Muhammad Hafiz Jamaluddin, the head of Halal Integrated Platform, Halal Development Corporation. Mr. Hafiz has over 17 years of experience in smart city planning, organization transformation, digital transformation and ICT implementation, and program management for large-scale projects. He has also been involved in the implementation of business-specific solutions for large organizations for both the government ministries and also multinational companies. Before we start, I also invite you to join discussion by prominent and experienced Malaysian and international panelists in our plenary session happening next month from 10 to 12 September. Ladies and gentlemen, do not miss your opportunity to export. Register today at www.mihas.com.my. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I invite Mr. Muhammad Hafiz Jamaluddin.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. My name is Hafiz. I am actually from Halal Integrated Platform, one of the unit under HTC. So for today, I am going to present about Halal Integrated Platform itself. But before that, let's just go through the overview of halal economy. So I just want to share with all of you some numbers that we have in terms of halal economy, and maybe I'm going to share a bit on how technology complement the halal economy. All right. So let me just go to the first slide, the overview of halal economy. So as you can see, this is actually a numbers that we have. For your information, HDC do have a system called Halal Knowledge Center. So we do a research, and all the data and the numbers you can actually access from there. So one of the data that I would like to share to everyone is that if you look at a snapshot of halal economy in the year 2019, overall total cost of the halal economy itself is about 2.2 trillion US dollar. And if you look at the market share, Asia Pacific has about 1.6 trillion US dollar. So in terms of the spending, Muslim spending. So that means that shows that the halal economy is quite big, especially in Asia Pacific. Now, if you run through each and every sector, you can see that the biggest sector is actually food and beverages, which is about 1.17 trillion. Next follows by modest fashion, and then Islamic media, Muslim-friendly tourism, pharmaceutical, and cosmetic. But of course, there are two areas that is currently booming right now, which is the pharmaceutical and cosmetic itself. Now, let me just share you a bit of numbers in terms of how COVID actually impact the halal economy. Right, because nowadays we are going through a pandemic. So let me just share a bit of data on that as well. Okay. When COVID happened in the year 2019, obviously struck a lot of industries. So same goes to halal economy as well. If we look at the breakdown, obviously Muslim friendly tourism got hit a lot, but I guess it does not just hit Muslim friendly tourism, but it hit tourism as a whole. However, I would like to actually draw down your attention to the halal food industry, where it doesn't really have much significant impact when it comes to COVID-19. So this is the part where I really like to stress that, when it comes to halal economy, obviously food and beverage, no matter what happened, there will always be a demand. So hence there is an opportunity for business to actually come into a halal industry and start reaping some benefit from certain areas. And if you look at other areas as well, such as cosmetic, modest fashion, as well as the Islamic media, it is more or less got impacted, but it's not as bad as others. So overall, if you look at the forecast, we are looking at the decrease of 8%. 8% decrease in the Muslim spending between the year 2019 to 2020. Now, when we have these numbers, then we need to look at what and how can technology complement or come into the picture when we talk about halal economy. So now I would like to share with you the component of the halal economy itself. So if you look at the component that we have, obviously we have employment, we do have trade and investment, product and research and development, and of course when it comes to halal certification, we are talking about the integrity. When we talk about halal, we talk about the integrity of the product itself. So if you compare halal industry with other industry, there are a lot of similarity for your information. For example, when it comes to employment, product production and R&D, trade and investment. But the thing that actually make it a bit more premium, I would say a bit more premium or different from other product, is that it has the element of integrity. It has the element of the halalness. So that means that once you have the halal certificate, you have you have to ensure that the integrity of the product, you have to make sure that you uphold the standard of the halal. So around it, you have a lot more areas that comes with this element. Now, the thing that I would like to share is that when it comes to technology, most of the people will be thinking about traceability. Halal, you talk about traceability. Yes, I do agree that there is a need for that. However, like I mentioned to you before, when you look at the spectrum of the halal component, or I would say the halal economy component, there are other emerging technologies that can be adopted as part of the business or as part of the industry. So let me just share with you. If you can look at the whole item that I just listed here, you can see that in terms of product development, you can actually focus on the customer experience, because when the pandemic hit, then customer behavior has become a bit more skewed towards trust, towards the things or the product that they would like to trust. So hence you need to upgrade your customer experience. It can be done through technology, it can also be done through integrity as well. So that is one area of technology that we are looking at. And of course, you can also embed IoT. You can also talk about smart manufacturing, because when we talk about smart manufacturing, we are talking about trying to maintain the cleanliness, maintain the high standard of the production. You talk about smart farming, and obviously the track and trace and regulatory technology is an area that we can actually explore to maintain the integrity of the product. And of course, on the other hand, you can also have a technology that look at the halal verifications aspect of it. On the other hand, on the other side of the circle, you can see that those are the technology that is already exists out there. So we are talking about talent pool, because you talk about human capital, you are talking about upskilling and online learning. You are using data, you have market accessibility through digital, and obviously, the one that I would really love to really highlight here is that instead of just a financial facility, you can also introduce P2P lending and crowdfunding. So practically, this is a snapshot of what technology can do, or what the technologies that can be adopted in a halal economy. And in the next few slides, I would like to go further deep into what we do. How can HIP come into the picture and assist the halal player to adopt the technology that is available out there. All right, so I will move on to my next slide. Rebuilding the halal economy through halal integrated platform. So that is actually our aim. So if I can share with you a bit on what is actually halal integrated platform. So practically, the objective of halal integrated platform is about hosting. We want to host the halal ecosystem. We are not going to develop an e-commerce platform, but the idea is that this platform will be one-stop center. There will be something similar to, if you look at in the picture, is something similar to the shopping mall, the concept of shopping mall, whereby in a modern shopping mall, you will have cinema, you will have food court, you will have retail store, you will have kiosks, you will have some of the shopping mall even have a futsal court, so some even have a theme park. So the idea is that for the customer to come in, when the customer come into the shopping mall, they can pick and choose what they want to do. Some people just want to go shopping. Some people just want to want to spend time in the shopping mall and just to have fun. Now, the idea with HIP is that we are going to have a platform whereby those members who come into our platform, they can pick and choose what are the programs, what are the facility, what are the services that will be suitable for their business, because we cannot find a solution that have one size fits all. So what we will do is that we just open up everything to them. They can just come and pick and choose what they need that will be suitable to the business, rather than we teach them to go to step 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just say, look, this is what you have. Based on your capability, you decide what you need to do or what you want to do in order for you to grow your business. Now, when we talk about growing business in HIP, we are looking at growing the SMEs, and eventually we want them to become the exporters. We want them to fill up the gap of this halal economy that we have at the moment. If you look at the value is 2.2 trillion based on the numbers that I showed earlier in 2019. Imagine if this company that can actually develop themselves through technology, and then maybe they can just develop their capability, and they can one day become an exporter. They can fill up all those gaps that is currently available right now. So that is actually the idea of HIP. Now, like I mentioned to you, we want to make HIP to become a one-stop center. So how do we do that? We want to connect. We want to make sure that we have a lot of things is available here. So obviously, one of the things that we want to do is we want to nurture and facilitate our local halal players. In fact, we want to go bigger later. We want to nurture the halal player itself, not necessarily local, but halal player itself. And then we will provide some sort of industrial insight. So as you can see earlier, the data that I shared is actually from the content inside HIP, which is called Halal Knowledge Center. So those two are the type of data that you will get from our system itself. I mean, one module is under HIP. And then you have catalyzing globalization opportunity. I will share with you further on that. How do we do that? And then we will enable the halal business so that they can leverage on digital space. And finally, we want to connect the business, the business with the expert, with the supporting services, so that they can actually leverage on the expertise within the network itself. So that's what we want to do. We want to connect the dots in one halal ecosystem within HIP. How do we do it? How do we do it? Is that obviously we do have our internal expertise. We do have our in industry development unit. We have our consultancy. We have our Halal Training Institute. We have our Halal Park, and obviously event management. Now, these units are focusing on halal related matters. For example, when we talk about halal consultancy, we provide services that will help um, the SMEs or the businesses to get their certification. And obviously, once they get certification, we will also help them to set up their governance. We will also help them to do audit and whatnot. But it is really focused much on the halal aspect. I mean the halal, the discipline of halal. And of course we also provide trainings to our members. And when it comes to Halal Park, we help our members to find the best facility for them in order for them to increase their capabilities. So that is actually what we have. However, we understand that if we want to cater or we want to help to grow our members, we need to help. We need to work with each other, with other agencies. So how do we do it? We first work with other government agencies such as MDEC, SIRIM, MIDEC, and others, Matrade as well, so that we can always, I wouldn't say leverage, but we will collaborating with them, and they can always share with us their expertise and their programs that will benefit our members. So those are one of the stakeholders that we are working closely with. And then we are also working with financial institution, whereby we will get them to develop a special package just for our HIP members, so that they can benefit from the package that been developed by financial institution. So for your information, recently we have just launched a package, a special package by Bank Islam. It's called Go Halal Fund. So that's where our members can actually benefit those packages, because that packages allow them to actually get a financial facility to fund their halal certification process. There will be more. There will be a few more packages from. There will be packages from CIMB. There will be packages from Standard Chartered Sadiq, and of course, soon it will be from Alliance as well. So we are working with multiple banks, so that what we want to do is we want to open up the opportunity to the SME. So now it's not about SME are not aware what are the things. It's just what are the things that are available to them, but it's about what are the things that they can leverage on in order for them to grow. And then financial. Next, we are working with service providers and partners. And just for your information, today, as of today, we have worked with few partners that we have identified. Obviously, later, once we want to launch, we will announce those partners. These partners are the partners that actually complementing your business. So I will elaborate further later. And then we are also working with industry partners, meaning to say that we are working with like the retail chain store. We are working with the big organization that would like to get supplier from halal supplier itself, or even HIP members. So these are the things that we want to have the opportunity that we want to have in our halal integrated platform. And then of course logistic and warehouse, and then halal park operators, education and research institution. This is something that is quite exciting, because when it comes to education and research institution, we are talking about not just having the students to become our halal talent, but we are looking at the products that they develop at the university levels, and how do we actually groom the product to get halal certificates, and later on to go to the international arena. But at the same time, we are looking at other expertise as well. For example, like food science, all those breakthrough that the universities actually has, so that we want to make that available to our members as well. And then, of course, we have access to consumer. And the most importantly is that we are not just looking at exporting our product. What we want to do now is also we want to develop our halal professional talent pools, so that once we manage to develop the awareness and the needs of the halal overseas, then we can later export our professional, we can export our expertise overseas as well. So that is actually another areas that we are looking at. So when we talk about halal economy, we're just not talking about products, we are also talking about employment, we are talking about the opportunity for our halal talent to go further than what they are now. Now, I would like to share quickly what we have in HIP, and also I would like to inform everyone that HIP at the moment still under development. However, it will be launched on the 9th of September. You can actually go ahead and pre-register yourself, and you will be registered. I mean, later once it's launched, we will obviously register you inside the portal as well. But while waiting for that, we already have services that are readily available. And in fact, right now, our members who has registered are benefiting from whatever that we are putting in at the moment. So we have funding facilitation. So I have mentioned earlier that Bank Islam is the first bank that actually developed a package for our members, and then we have e-marketplace. Here we are developing e-marketplace, halal e-marketplace for Malaysian market, but at the same time we are also looking at establishing other marketplaces for other countries. That means that you imagine that when you are a member, you come in as a member, you can actually pick and choose which marketplace that you want to sell your item or your products. So we are planning to have, so far we have identified countries like Japan, India, Taiwan, Indonesia, and we are also looking at UK at the moment. So in HIP, there will be more than one e-marketplace, but obviously Malaysia, we will have one for Malaysia as well. And then we have online advertising and promotion. So here is another area where our members can leverage on the digital media, digital marketing that we have to promote their products. And then we do business networking and matching. And of course, this is another area where this is one of the core services that we do when it comes to connecting or building the ecosystem, right? And then we have job talent matching. So like I mentioned earlier, we have our talent pool. Obviously, we need to match the talent to any vacancy that's available. So we have that platform as well. And then we are going to develop a procurement system for halal and supply services. That means that whoever members register here who has a halal certificate can be listed as part of our procurement system. And if there is a tender or there's a opportunity, they can just bid or participate in that particular tender. Okay, and then we'll have analytics and business intelligence. Obviously, this is something that we want to have, because we want to have a visibility on the market. And then we have industry mentorship and knowledge sharing. When we talk about industry mentorship and knowledge sharing, we are not just talking about from the perspective of halal. We are also looking at other aspects. It comes to, we can talk about the aspect of financial management. We can talk about marketing and whatnot. So like I mentioned to you earlier, when we talk about halal economy, we are not just covering the certification, we are also covering the ancillary aspect of it as well. So the next one is halal logistic and warehouse. This is an infrastructure that would actually support the halal business. And then we have business support and services. This is the part where we just provide an avenue for our members to outsource certain functions such as HR, finance, admin, or even IT itself. If let's say, for example, one day this company suddenly grow exponentially, and then they need to get experts, rather than just waiting for the right people to come in, they can outsource it to certain service company while waiting for someone to come in. They can do that as well, because some of the businesses, they are not aware these sort of things is available for them. And then, of course, the other aspect of it is digital transformation. We are working closely with MDEC to push technologies or solutions that our SME can benefit from. So there will be a lot of solutions later in HIP that will be available for our SMEs. Okay. And then we have Go to Halal Market. So this is where we actually develop programs for our members for them to participate, such as they can become a supplier in a retail store, retail chain store, or maybe they can participate in business networking between two countries. There are a lot more programs that will be available for our members. And then we have Halal Incubation Project for Entrepreneurs. This is a self-assessment tool where when our member comes in, they can actually run the assessment program, and then at the end of the assessment, they will identify areas of improvement. So from there, the members can, or the companies can actually identify what need to be done in order for them to grow. So there are 9 areas, and among the 9 areas, they have areas like digital transformation, they have areas like capacity building and whatnot. So this is something that is actually a good tool for the industry, because based on our past experience with this project, there are a lot of takers. Okay. And then we do have Halal Knowledge Center. So like I mentioned to you, is there, this is part of our HIP offering, and I myself using the information that is actually being published inside there as part of my presentation earlier. As you can see, the two infographic that I shared with you earlier is from Halal Knowledge Center. So practically this is the repository of our data, our market data and publication, and even there is a standard being is made available inside the Halal Knowledge Center. And then we do have Halal Park Listing and Advisory. So this is one of the services that we offer to our members. And then, of course, this is another one that we would like to grow even bigger later, is the Halal Ingredient Database. So we want to make sure that our members who develop an ingredient to list their ingredient inside this database, so that if there is a manufacturer or a company that would like to procure for ingredient, they can just use this ingredient database, especially halal ingredient database. They can use this halal ingredient database for them to find the ingredient that they want, and most importantly, near to their facility. So that will eventually help in terms of logistic and also maybe the cost as well. And then we do have halal industry training, and also finally we do have halal consultancy that is available for our members. So as you can see, these are actually the snapshot of services available in HIP. So once you register, you have access to practically all of this. So once we launch, you have access to all of these services. But at the moment, we do offer all these services through our email communication. Once you have start registering with us, okay. And my last slide, one thing that I would like to share is that if you notice, or if you still remember this diagram that I showed earlier, the elements of the halal economy, you can see that at the end of the day, the elements don't have much difference comparing to other business. I would say non-halal business. When we talk about manufacturing, when we talk about service, the only things that the only thing that differentiate between halal business and non-halal business is that the halal business has these elements of integrity in terms of the halalness. Now, I'm not talking about the quality, but I'm talking about the halalness, meaning to say that for those company or those business that has halal certification, that means that they have gone through, or they have passed through certain standards or criteria. So hence they deserve, or they have been awarded by the halal certificate. Now, once you got the halal certificate, there is an element of trust where people has the perception of, once you have the halal cert, the product will be obviously halal, it will be safe, and it will be clean. So hence the integrity aspect of the product itself being represented by the halal certificate. Now, when we talk about technologies, right, I would like to again highlight that there's a lot of opportunities when we talk about technologies inside the halal economy. So as you can see, there's a lot of emerging technology nowadays. We talk about IoT, we talk about 5G, we talk about smart manufacturing, we talk about people even talk about blockchain, people talk about IR 4.0 and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's all about how can business leverage on technology and help them to solve their business pain point. So you can either look at the bigger picture where people always talk about blockchain traceability, people talk about verification, but that will be at the macro aspect of it. But when it comes to business, there's a lot more areas that can be covered by technologies. So hence, what I'm trying to say here is that if you want to adopt a technology, start from identifying your pain point. So once you understand your pain point, what you can do is that you can register with us in HIP. This is the part where, based on your pain point, you can explore technologies that are available out there for you to adopt. So what HIP is, what HIP role is, we want to also identify technologies that will benefit our members, so that at the end of the day, it helps to iron out all the pain point, the business pain point that we have, that they face currently and maybe in the future. So we need to realize that technology is not the silver bullet, but it's just one of those elements when it comes to transformation. So you have the people aspect out of it, you have the process out of it, and you have technology. So technology is just one of the elements. You need to look at other areas as well. So that will be my last slide for this presentation. I would like to say thank you for listening, and I hope that when we talk about technology in a halal economy, we need to start thinking about how can we leverage on the economy. How do we leverage on technology to address the pain point, or to address our business pain point, so that we can do things much more efficient and in a better way. So hence, it will help you to increase your capability in order for you to be working in this, in order for you to be growing in the halal industry and obviously reap the benefit in the halal economy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Hafiz, for the interesting presentation on the topic Halal Integrated Platform, HIP, revolutionizing the halal industry. We hope the sharing from Mr. Hafiz had provided some insights to help in the expansion and improvement of your business. Ladies and gentlemen, we have for you today some sharing of experience by two companies on their export journey. First is IX Telecom, a telco company, followed by Kams Technology Sdn Bhd, an ICT company. Please enjoy the short videos.
Hi, I'm Nur Muhammad Helmi, the CEO and founder of IX Telecom. IX Telecom is a global virtual network operator with service coverage in over 200 countries and territories. So we operate from 7 global offices, such as our HQ here in Sriwijaya, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Myanmar, Hong Kong, and the US. IX Telecom started in 2008. We decided to venture into, we call it a low-cost telco, right? Because we do not own physical infrastructure. That's how IX Telecom operates. IX has been leveraging market for the past 10 years. Prior to that, we faced challenges in getting in-depth information about the market that we were looking to penetrate. With market assistance, things are getting better through their programs that expose companies like us to the external market. We can leverage market resources to gain specific insight into target markets before entry. IX Telecom participated in Mid-Tier Companies Development Program, MTCDP, under Wave 4 back in 2017. So the sessions that IX participated during the 9-month programs were the export planning session, which helped us to define the company's export strategy, and then the capacity building activities such as digital marketing, distributor management, and B2B marketing workshop, and also the CEO forums. So a program that's specifically designed for CEO of mid-tier companies to share their aspiration, challenges, and experiences in building their companies. IX Telecom has service coverage in over 200 countries and territories. So we operate from 7 global offices with headquarters in Samujaya and other offices in Jakarta, Singapore, Yangon, Hong Kong, San Francisco, and Washington DC. So we are Malaysian-based with a global mindset. So our team is passionate about building a global company and works very hard to promote our services to the world. So the aspiration continues as we keep expanding from small and medium enterprise to mid-tier and soon a large enterprise, inshallah. Thanks to Madrid as well for providing grants even for the virtual conferences to us. SME should work with Madrid and leverage their programs, expertise, resources, and also grants. And they are vital in global market expansion because now the world is on your fingertips. Then we may start with Southeast Asia, which has a population of over 600 million, before we go to Asia and after that conquer the world. When we entering the new market, we cannot simply bulldoze without the know-how and strategy. So Madrid can assist with their vast and strategic network. Know what you want, do your own research and validate it by engaging Madrid expertise. You will be successful.
We are a smart card solution provider that covers visitor management system, e-purse, ticketing, mobile verification, access controls, and others. Being a new startup, customers are often concerned that we do not have a proven solution and whether we will be around long enough to support them if they use our solution. We do not have much funding for marketing. It is very much a one-to-one direct sales. To assure our customers, we will lodge our source code with a lawyer firm so that if we close down, they can have access to our source code. We keep innovating, and our solution is proven with many references, fully integrated with the various backend systems, and access control available locally. We considered starting to export about 5 years ago. It has always been our plan to grow out of the Malaysian market. There is a great demand for our services overseas. Being in an export venture, we face challenges to do regular face-to-face meeting with partners. So engaging the right partners is very important as that gives us a local presence. Currently, we have presence and partners all over ASEAN countries. We Malaysians have an advantage being that we are ahead of most of the other ASEAN countries when it comes to technology adoption. And thus, we have many ready references of the technology. When we go to other countries, they can learn from what we have already deployed. For local Asian markets, we have advantage in the provision of support as we understand the local culture. Exporting has helped us scale by increasing in revenue and enlarging our potential market size. Currently, we are doing at about 10% and we hope to increase to 30% within the next 2 years. Madrid has helped us with various trade missions, grants for marketing activities, local market intelligence, as well as presence in overseas market. Being a Madrid member allows us to tap into the financial assistance and various market access activities. For companies that want to succeed in exporting, you must have a commitment to follow through for each market to be covered. Requires energy and resources for multiple trips and support to foreign country partners or customers. ASEAN is still a relationship-based engagement and they like to have face-to-face meetings.
Ladies and gentlemen, Virtual Mihas 2021 will officially kickstart next month from 9 September. We would like to welcome all of you to join us in the programs offered throughout Mihas 2021. Now, let us watch the preview of the 17th Malaysia International Halal Showcase, Mihas. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now heading towards the end of this third session for Halal Preview Session of Knowledge Hub segment. Stay tuned for the last preview session live on Wednesday, 1st September on the topic Halal and Sustainability. Also, explore new products and services from across the globe and seize business opportunities at www.mihas.com.my by registering using the QR code displayed. With that, thank you and see you again.